Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Paula. This is Jake Spear from State Library, and I just wanted to welcome everyone to our first session of the Difference is You, What's Your Vision 2020 and Beyond. Professional Development Office and other State Library staff have worked really hard to put this together under challenging times, because I know we're all dealing with our COVID-19 challenging times, and so we're really happy to have a great conference today, and we look forward to being back in person in 2021. With our theme today, What's Your Vision 2020 and Beyond, we have a lot of great sessions about health information, inspire, and we also have Trina Davis as our keynote speaker. So we're really excited to have a great conference today. I want to thank again the Professional Development Office and also the Difference is You committee that's really put together a great conference. So I'll turn it back over to Paula, and thank you again for being here today, and here's to a great 2021.
All right, thanks so much, Jake. All right, welcome everyone, and very glad that you could join us today for the Difference is You virtual conference. My name is Paula Newcomb, and I'm the Northeast Regional Coordinator of the Indiana State Library's Professional Development Office. I will be the host and question moderator for today's webinar, Health Information Online, presented by Bobby Newman from the National Network of Libraries of Medicine. After the webinar has been transcribed, it will be available on the Indiana State Library's Archive Webinars page. If you are watching an archive recording of this presentation, information on how to obtain your LEU is in the video's description in YouTube. For weekly updates on upcoming trainings and to learn more about what's happening in libraries across the state, please subscribe to the Indiana State Library's e-newsletter, The Wednesday Word, and check our continuing education website for other professional development opportunities. So let's get started. Bobby Newman is the Community Engagement and Outreach Specialist at the National Network of Libraries of Medicine, where she helps public libraries meet the information needs of their communities. Bobby currently serves as a member of the Let's Move in Libraries Advisory Board and the Information Technology ALA Advisory Committee. I am now happy to turn the presentation over to Bobby.
Great, thank you very much. Like many of you, I am working from home, and so I want to apologize in advance if you end up hearing my dog while I'm talking. It wouldn't be an online conference if there wasn't technical difficulties, right? So I want to talk a little bit about how people search for health information before I get into the resources that I'm going to share with you. Some information we know from Pew and other researchers is that health is the second most popular subject of an online search. And that was prior to the pandemic, so this probably is different at this point. But we know that when people are searching for health information online, 80% of them just start at a search engine, which makes sense. That's pretty much how we start searching for any information online, right? The other thing that we know is that once they find that information, less than a quarter of the people are actually verifying the date that the information was posted. So is it outdated? Those kind of things. Health information becomes outdated very quickly, or the source, who's posting it, and their purpose there. We also know that lack of access to the internet and having a computer at home increases the risk for health disparities that people encounter. And the problem isn't necessarily that people don't have enough health information, it's that they have too much, and they're drowning in the health information that they see every day. So kind of want to look at some of, I talked about that. People are struggling with that health information that they encounter every day. So I want to go ahead and look at some of the health information that people encounter every day. I like this one. This is an ad for Cialis. You may have seen this in a magazine or a television ad for this. I don't know what your foreplay looks like, but mine doesn't involve two bathtubs on the side of a hill overlooking the ocean. So maybe a little bit of false implications or advertising here. Kind of struggle there. The other thing that people encounter every day is the nutrition labels that we see on the food, the things that we eat, and understanding what a serving size is. I know now when I go to the grocery store and I'm going through the aisles, I see the chip bags say family size on them, which is something that didn't used to say before, but a really indication that you can't eat, this whole bag of M&Ms or even, other things, and understanding, excuse me, which nutrition you should have. you get to see information like this. So drinking a glass of red wine is as healthy as an hour at the gym. That's actually not true, and there's other good sources of this benefit, this component. You can get that from actually eating fruits and vegetables is a good source for that too. And of course, if a glass of red wine is good, I guess vodka might be better. So we're seeing this kind of health information just sort of out there. These make good headlines and they're click-worthy. Could be some confirmation bias happening here when we see these, and we want to believe, those things. I certainly would rather drink a glass of red wine than go to the gym. Kind of want to show too what happens when we take bad reporting of science. So this one I like this one because it always makes the round about this time of year as we head into flu season, saying drinking tea and wine can keep the flu at bay. But if you actually read this article and click through to the research that they're citing, what the research actually says is eat more plants and vegetables for influenza resistance. So it's this component that's found in plants and vegetables, and you can get the benefits of that by just eating more fruits and veggies. But that doesn't make a good headline, and nobody wants to see eat more fruits and veggies to prevent the flu. So I'll go ahead and get into some of the resources I'm going to cover today. And I sent the power PDF of these out, so I think Kara or somebody might be able to make it available to you later. Medlineplus, I feel like, is our sort of one-stop shop for any health information. It's pulled together resources from over 1,600 organizations. All of the links that are included on Medlineplus have been vetted by professional librarians and staff. So if you see something linked out to from Medlineplus, you know that that resource has been verified by someone else. So let's look at some of the information on Medlineplus. I'll let you guys read this later, but just so you have an idea of how information gets put onto Medlineplus. We do look at organizations that are not selling things, that kind of thing. So it doesn't link to websites whose purpose is to sell or promote products. We want the content to be trustworthy and transparent, that kind of thing. So this is what you see at the homepage. This is the Medlineplus homepage here, and this is this green menu. I just pulled it out, and if the animation isn't working. So we're going to look through this green bar first. And the first one at the top is the health topics. So once you click in here, you can see this sort of broken down by different body systems locations, or if you're looking for disorders or conditions, different types of health and wellness things, so like fitness and exercise, but also disasters, complementary and alternative therapies, drug therapy, those kind of things. So this is a really good place to just start kind of browsing or looking for health information. The second thing you're going to see is the drugs, herbs, and supplements, and clicking there will get you to a alphabetical list where you can browse by generic or brand name for any drug or supplement. But also there's a really great section on herbs and supplements, and I think that's something we see a lot of this time of year, especially people looking to take maybe some supplemental vitamins or other things that they think might help prevent or speed recovery from the flu. So if you click on this herbs and supplements, you're going to see a list of them by name, and clicking on any of them will take you to a page that looks like this. And I always pick echinacea because what we know, or what people are try to take echinacea to help them with getting a common cold. And so these pages are really nice. They actually link out to the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health, which is a good resource, but you can get there through Medlineplus. And it'll talk a little bit about what we know about the background of the plants and how much do we, how many studies have been done, has there been any actual research. And then I don't know if you can see on your screen, but what have we learned? Echinacea might slightly reduce your chance of catching a cold, and it has not been shown to shorten the length of a cold. So bad news for those of us that like to take that. The next section is genetics, and this is something I think people are getting more and more into, understanding genetic health conditions and how that ties into your overall health and well-being. And then this one is particularly helpful if you have patrons coming in that are looking to understand maybe a test that their doctor has ordered, or they're looking to understand test results. You can direct them here. Obviously, as you know, we don't want to interpret test results, but you can go here with the patron, or point them here to be able to read and understand more about their test. Medlineplus is generally written at an accessible level for everybody, generally at an 8th grade level, and there's lots of research that easy to read, accessible health information benefits everybody, not just people with lower literacy skills. If you're looking for a medical encyclopedia to link to from the website, or to show people maybe to replace something that if you've gotten rid of I know a lot of libraries are getting rid of their reference section, this is nice because it will link right to it, and then you have access to that information online. Medlineplus has a really nice printer-friendly version. If you use the print feature on the website, it will convert all of the hyperlinks out to text, which makes it a really nice thing. I always like to recommend that you allow free printing from Medlineplus, especially as we do away with our print reference collections. People always seem to want something in hand for health information. There's also a really great section on healthy recipes, broken down by the different meals and those kind of things. So these are nice. And yesterday I hosted a presentation where somebody was talking about doing cooking programming and outreach at the library. So this would be a source of recipes that you could use, or you'd have to worry about copyright issues, those kind of things. And then this is the home page at the bottom of the Medlineplus homepage. So if you were at the homepage for Medlineplus, if you scroll down, you're going to see a couple of links, and the first one I want to point out is this easy to read materials. And that'll take you here, and it has some really nice things here, especially a lot of times, you know, people come into the reference desk and maybe they've just gotten diagnosed with something, or they're wanting to learn more about an issue, and here's some really great information that's available and shareable in easy to read format, which is always nice, particularly if you're stressed out. You want just kind of clear, concise information. The other thing that's at the bottom of Medlineplus that I want to point out is this health information in multiple languages. So if your patron population are speaking languages other than English, and you're looking for health information in those languages, you can go here, and there's quite a list of health information available to people. So if you click on that, it's actually going to take you to a website called Healthreach, which is also from the National Institutes of Health. And this just kind of gives you an idea of what Healthreach looks like right now. You can search for a condition that you're looking for, and then look at languages, but you can also limit by the language, and the pages come out a really nice, have so like if you chose Arabic, one side would be in Arabic and the other side would be in English, so they're really nice to have people to print out to take to their doctor or something too. Also, just a reminder that Medlineplus has a Spanish website, so if you're on the main page, if you just click on the orange Espanol link at the top, it will take you to Medlineplus in Spanish. And it does not have a mobile app because it has responsive design, so it will look good on any size screen. The National Institutes of Health is another great resource for health information online. There are 27 National Institutes of Health, or institutes out there, and so this is kind of a long list, but each of these have their own website and have their own resources. I'm going to go a little further into some of them in a couple minutes. Also want to point out that this website is also available in Spanish, so if you're looking for Spanish health information resources. The Drug Information Portal, I like to recommend this site. I always say, if you're like me and you got home with your prescription and you just tore off that printout that they you sent home with you and threw it away, but then later you're wondering about some information, maybe this is the place to go and look that up. You can also learn more about clinical trials if that's something that you're looking for health information for. So this will talk about side effects and those kind of things related to the different drugs you might take. Pillbox, this is a website where if you have found a pill, maybe that you're looking to identify, you can actually, apologies because the animation isn't working, you'll be on the home screen, you're seeing the result here instead of the search box. You we'll be able to put in like color, shape, size, if there's an imprint on it. So you can see this one says 213, and it will pull up, so you can see this is the search results for somebody who's searching for oval, blue, and then had the 213 on it. And it will pull up that information. I've heard vets using this. So if pets have somehow gotten into something and ate medication that people didn't know what they were, if you or someone else has dumped a whole bunch of pills into a bowl instead of keeping them separate, if your weekly pill box gets knocked over and things fall out and you're unsure what things are, this is a good resource. The National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health, I think, is a really good resource. Between Medlineplus and this one, these are the two I really try to promote the most. We hear a lot, people are getting more into complementary and integrative health, particularly when we start seeing people maybe who are selling herbs or supplements. It's a really good idea to go in here and sort of investigate things. And you can see here is the health information page. That's where I'm at. And on this page is this section that I think are particularly helpful. So herbs at a glance, which is kind of what I showed you earlier. But also being an informed consumer about, say you're looking to add some complementary or integrative health into your healthcare, maybe acupuncture. You can find out about how to find someone who's certified to do that professionally and make sure that you're doing that in a safe and healthy way. I'll do a couple of resources that are aimed at specific populations. So if you're looking for information for particular demographics, on the Medlineplus page I showed you earlier with the health topics, there is a section about health specifically for children and teenagers, men, women, and seniors. And you can find great information by clicking through those. Womenshealth.gov is a great online resource for information related to women's health, and we like to pull out and stress this caregiver health. Statistically, women are more likely to be caregivers, both of children and their adult parents or loved ones. So this is something that can be a good resource for them. Kids Health is a good resource for information related to the health of children. You can see here all about the body, those kind of things. It also has a specific section for teen and then parents and educators. So this can be a resource for people in school or those kind of things. You might find some printouts, things like that in there if you're looking for that. But I like when these sites break out their information and target specific groups. So it's health information about children and teens, but then there's sections specifically for being parents and caregivers. Girlshealth.gov has good information on things that young women or girls might be interested in, and it's sort of aimed at them as opposed to adults. Young men and young women's health. These are sites for these demographics that share this information. And then prenatal to young adults, healthychildren.org is a great one as well. For senior health, the National Institute on Aging has some good resources. I like how so this is the home screen, and if you scroll down, they've got things broken out by topics that are particularly interested to this group. So Alzheimer's and related dementias, caregiving, which is an increasing area of interest, and more of us are doing that or going to be doing that. Some guide to staying cognitively healthy, which is always important for all of us. And physical activity and aging that can happen at the sort of age-appropriate movement. And then also some nice information about communicating with your doctor, which I think all of us could probably use a little bit more information on that. The Health and Human Services website also has some information on healthy aging. You can use that if you're looking for more resources for seniors, as does the CDC. LGBTQIA plus adults, especially in rural areas, have very limited access to health information and often feel isolated. This resource is more for caregivers, but really anybody can use it. Many LGBTQIA plus adults experience discrimination in healthcare, especially if they live in more conservative or rural areas. They also maybe want more information or privacy when they're searching for health information, so this is always a good link to just have on your website. If you're looking for health information for minority populations, the HHS has the Office of Minority Health. Includes information both for staff and for patrons. They also have some great social media campaigns, so you can sign up for that to follow them and sign up for their newsletter to get information from them to share out if you're interested in that. Oops, there should have been a heading here. There is some health information on Medlineplus, so you can kind of see the breadcrumb trail up here at the top, specifically for librarians and trainers. There's a guide to using Medlineplus if you want to go even more in depth than what I talked about there. You can learn additional resources, but there's also some printable materials here. If you want to print out Medlineplus brochures in Spanish and English to give out to your patrons, that's really nice. I know people like print resources. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the network of the National Libraries of Medicine, there's a lot more resources than just the ones I went through here today. It's always sort of hard to present about resources. I think it's a little bit boring, but I think it's really helpful to know about them. We also have other training and presentations. We're not doing in-person presentations right now because of the COVID outbreak. I have been out to Ohio and done some training with Cara in the past, but we do have a great series of free online webinars, and we do asynchronous online Moodle classes too that are also all free on a variety of topics. We also provide funding for professional development and health-related programming and outreach, and we're getting ready to announce some funding opportunities specifically to helping out with COVID struggles that people are having, so kind of keep an eye out from that, and then I usually send those out and then they can be passed out, and then helping you find partnerships. So if you're not a member, if your library's not a member, consider becoming a member. If you want to apply for funding, you will need to be a member. It's free. There's no reason not to. Take more classes with us. This is kind of a sample of some that might be interested to you right now. Just a general guide to consumer health and health information is this Beyond an Apple a Day class, but we also provide some courses on mental health and mental health information, providing health information to veterans. Food for Thought is about nutritional information resources, which is kind of a fun class, learning about those kind of things. Anorexia to Zits got renamed, and I can't think of what it is now, but it is about providing health information and resources to teenagers. Beyond Our Borders delves more into providing health information for multicultural health information, multilingual populations. We have classes on providing health information to seniors or older adults, LGBTQIA+, etc. So there's a good resource. And then I think we have some time for questions. I went a little fast, I think, because of the mess up and the lack of animations. I didn't get to go so far deeply into some of what I was showing. So if I didn't include a resource on something that you're looking for, let me know. I probably have one. And yeah, it looks like, yes, the slides are going to get sent out.
Don't hesitate to reach out to me via email too if you're looking for a resource that I didn't cover today or you think of later that you want something on there. We have this is a very long list of free online reliable health information. Yes, thank you so much, Bobby. If anybody has any more questions in the chat, please feel free to share that. You all have been very patient. We are glad we got your presentation up on the PDF. That was wonderful. Okay, and as a reminder, if you are watching an archive recording of this presentation, information on how to obtain your TLEU is in the video's description in YouTube. So we've got the LEU file share and her information as well you can download. If you do have problems downloading that, I will send you an email to double check with you and see if you need me to send that to you another way.
Just a reminder, as you guys are logging out, before you log out, make sure you do download your certificate. It is a TLEU, since Bobby talked about internet resources. And the health info online, you can also download that. That's all the resources that she sent, as well as if you go down to the third pod there in the middle, we have a link for a survey, and we'd appreciate it if you would take that survey too. Thank you so much for attending, everybody.
Okay, Bobby, it looks like we do have a question from Susie. So for school, would the best sites be the ones like girlshealth.gov?
Yeah, I think so. Also, there is a section in Medlineplus that is specific, and I didn't show this. I do often show it when I'm demonstrating live. That if you go to the health topics and then actually scroll down to like children and then go, I'm going to pull this up and put the link in the box to a page called Children's Health. There's a children's and a teen one, and these are targeted towards children and teens. So information about them, but for them too. And those I think are really good places to start. Like I said, the nice thing about Medlineplus is that it often links out to other websites, but all of those have been vetted by, let's see, where's my teen health? There we go. And then also the ones I showed. Oops.